Welcome back, everyone. One UI 4 has been out for a couple of days now, actually for a couple of weeks, but I've installed it on my Samsung Galaxy S21 for a couple of days, and I kind of wanted to break down how it's been. Now, it hasn't really been too bad. It really hasn't been that much different than One UI 3, if I'm being completely honest. It seems like this is one of the more minor updates in the One UI lineup. One UI 1 was pretty big, One UI 2 was pretty big, One UI 3 was fairly big as well in terms of features, and One UI 4, I mean, there's really not like a standout feature that I'm thinking to myself like, wow, I'm so glad I updated to it. Now, I do like some of the newer widgets and the whole entire styling. You can see with One UI 4, we have some newer widgets that look kind of better, but I think a lot of the bigger changes are actually internally, specifically with privacy. So it seems like Samsung is kind of taking the thing up a notch, similar to Android 12 as a whole, and it seems like they're really focusing in on the privacy of their devices, and I love that. Having a more secure device is something that's really important. I think a lot of people would agree. Now, there's a few settings within One UI 4 that are now changed, like controls and alerts for camera access, microphone access, and different things like that. They kind of let you know if an app is using their microphone, if an app is using certain things like that. So I think that's a really cool thing, but for the most part, there's not really anything that's super crazy. Now, I will tell you, stability wise, it's been a fairly stable version of software. I think early on when I first installed it, I was expecting it to be full of bugs and different things like that. It really hasn't been like that, to be honest. It's been a fairly stable ride, which is something I'm really in love with. I hated installing a version of software and it would randomly just glitch up and different things like that. It's been a very good experience. I even installed Genshin Impact on this phone as well, and it's been running this game very, very well. I made a video on my third channel about it. So that's a really good thing when you get a phone like this. It's not going to randomly just glitch up, even though it's kind of glitching up right there. Now, I will tell you, even though my experience has been fairly good for the most part, that doesn't mean your experience is going to be like that either, so that's a pretty big thing to keep in mind. Now, some of the big features, we've gotten some newer, UI elements that kind of look a little bit better. We've got more privacy features as well, and I made a whole separate video talking about the, basics of the specific update. I more so wanted to talk about the stability aspect. Now, throughout the last couple of days of, using it, the battery life has been pretty much the same as One UI 3 as well, which I wasn't expecting. As you can see, I'm at 86%. I have not charged it since I installed One UI 4 on it, and it's been about 2 or 3 days. So I think when I'm uploading this, it's going to be about a week, and I probably would have charged it since then, but that's pretty decent, Now, if I go and click here, and if I go and click download and install, I'm sure there may be an update for it right now. Maybe the One UI 4 got another release. So it does look like I'm on the most recent version. And I will say the update itself was a couple of gigabytes as well. I think it was 2 point something gigabytes. So definitely not a small update. So make sure you have that much storage saved on your device before installing it. The battery life has also been, like I mentioned, pretty decent. The performance has been pretty good. Not had any major crashes or anything like that either. So if you're wanting to install it, I would say go for it. But personally, it just doesn't seem like that big of a difference from One UI 3. I feel like they were almost the exact same update for the most part. There have been some changes I've mentioned in the background, but other than that, it's been pretty much the same exact thing. And unless there was some crazy or big features that, Samsung is going to be bringing, I would say if you're on One UI 3, you can wait a couple of more versions to, wait until it's getting a little bit more stable. But other than that, I'd probably recommend, updating to One UI 4 if you want a couple of more features here and there. So in terms of that pretty much covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.